Okay, this question is dealing with the stem and leaf plot. I'm not quite sure why, but these kinds of graphs always trip up kids. I'm not sure if it's not an understanding, a direct understanding of how they work. But so let's do a real quick overview of how this graph is set up. So remember, the key is always the key. And you can tell the key is boxed in. And in this case, we have a 6 bar 2 means 62, which means, and this is correct in all dot plots, or I'm sorry, in all stem and leaf plots, the stem is always in a certain place value. It's usually either the 1s or the 10s. So what is it? What is the stem in this case? It is the 10s place value. And so if the stem is in the 10s place value, what place value are the leaves? And I'm hoping you're thinking that it is the 1s place value. And so then it's always one less than what the stem is. It's always one less place value. So if the stem was the 1s place value, your leaves would be the 10ths. Okay, but in this case, our stem is the 10s and our leaves are the 1s. What is the difference between the number of students who did more than 36 push sit-ups and the number of students who did fewer than 25 sit-ups? So in this case, what I would do is go and look for 36. Here's 31, 32, 35, 35, and 37. So my line of counting is going to go right in between here. It's going to pick up the 7, but not these numbers in the 30s. So I'm going to count every 1's place value below, because that would mean that there was a kid who did 37 push-ups. There was a kid who did 44. One did 46. And then look, 2 did 47. So I'm going to count both of those kids, because each number represented is one student. Okay, let's go to the 50s. One did 50. One did 53. 2 did 62, so I'm going to put them twice. One did 76. Now, there's no 1s in the 80s place value. So that means that no one did any push-ups that were in the 80s. So we're not going to count anything in the 80s. But we do have a 90 and a 92. So let's count all of these kids. They are the ones who did more than 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there were 12 kids who did more than 36. Now we're looking for the difference, which means we're going to do what operation? Subtract, right? So we're looking for now the students who did fewer than 25. Well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to look in the 20s. And where would I put my line of what to count and what not to? Well, I'm not going to count 26 because that's not fewer than 25. I'm going to count everything below it. So I have a 20 and a 23. And then I need to count all the 19s, or I'm sorry, all the 10s, so that'd be 19, 17, 13. And one child did only 9. He did nothing in the 10s place value. He only got to 9, which means he has no 10s place value. That's why there's a 0 here. So let's count all these kids. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, now it's just 12 minus 6, right? So our answer is G. A lot of students picked 11. 11. So let's figure out what they could have done to pick 11. So maybe they got confused and counted all of the 30. So that would be 31 is one more, 32, 35, 35. So that would change our 12 to actually 16. And then maybe they counted everything in the 20s. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'd be 7. Actually, that answer would be 9. So that couldn't be correct. Maybe they just counted. I'm honestly not sure. Maybe they just got confused and picked the first answer. Because really, when I look at the data, the whole state didn't do very well in this question. And only about half of the kids of the state got this question right. So this must have been a tricky one. So remember, it's your tens and ones. You have to count all your duplicates in this particular question because that is the student. You know, each student did that many sit-ups. And then we're not going to count any in the 80s because it doesn't have anything in the ones place value. If a child had gotten 80, there would be a 0 here, just like the 90, right? There wasn't. Okay, so I want you to explain why G, or 6, is the correct answer.